Okay, shit. Okay. All right, now let me check if we're live or not.
It looks like it's in wait.
Yes, we are. All right, now let me check.
North Carolina.
All right. And I was gonna try and go live on my Instagram to see how that works. Do a live on Insta. See if that works. And my baby's up, so it's gonna be. Yeah, Mama. All right, so welcome everybody in YouTube land. And let's see how we're gonna set this up for Instagram so they can see. Yeah, it works. I may or may not do it. We don't know. It's just no. So, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right, so plus I'd rather just see what's going on live on my YouTube as I'm on my YouTube. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay. All right. So I am officially live. Are you ready, cuz? Are you ready? Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So right away, I introduce us to the new book that we're going to be studying after this section. But we're going to be studying a lot on astral projection. So anyway, welcome back. Today is Friday, part 1, week 6 of Art and Practice of Astral Projection by Ophiel. I also introduced to you the new book for the next spiritual book study is the Kabbalah, a beginner's guide by Kate Readers. Okay, so I was supposed to take that part out, what we learned so far. We have not learned this yet. We're learning. This is the objective. The objective, we learn about the Kabbalistic cross. We learn about programming our own mind, visualization, and imagination. What is the pentagram? And we learn how to reconnect with the inner body. Okay. This is the disciplines in meditation. So in weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think I delve deep. I go deep into the disciplines right here. But right here, I'm just gonna read it off. You can always go back to the weeks and listen to the breakdown. So any type of spiritual work with results, we need to meditate. To experience presence and awareness, must keep a routine in meditation, setting time during your day. In order to know we exist beyond the physical form, you must know yourself as consciousness through meditation. Meditation is one of the powerful tools to mind magic. Okay, mind magic is a whole thing in itself. You know, that's how powerful we are. We are the magic. Meditation is cultivating the inner world in order to manipulate and manifest in the physical world. So meditate we will. So each one of these books speak of in order to manipulate the outer world, you have to go into the inner world. So mind magic, astral projection, and the Kabbalah Okay, they all speak of the inner world. So their inner world is within you. That's why meditation, cultivating a routine and a strong foundation in meditation makes you very, very strong. Okay, so this is the schedule. We're basically finished with the book study for Mind Magic by Kevin Fulton. So the only changes was right here. It was every Friday. Last Friday we didn't have a book study, so this is the last week. So 9:30 is today, week 6, cosmic consciousness. So look out for the audio for that. That will be. Yes, baby, yes. Yes, the dragon will eat you. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, mommy's talking. Okay. So cosmic consciousness. That's, look out for the link below for weeks 1 through 6. There's the audio of all 6 of them will be below this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys know the drill. Okay, so this is the new schedule for the art and practice of astral projection by Ophiel. So we're 9/30/22 week 1. We're speaking about how to go about creating the light body. Okay, so it's about the light body method. He has 4 methods. Creation is you. Next week after that is what is a familiar. Then we go into what religions are. So this one chapter, I broke it down into 3 weeks because it's very in depth. The light body is, I don't like to go real fast through these books. I really want to break it down. I also review and listen to my own stuff, take notes, and practice as well. So let's go. This, I'm also going to go through it real quick, but this is the staple statement. Ascension is the goal of this lifetime for those who are spiritually awakened. So we need to come to an understanding and knowing we don't exist, yet we are very okay. So in weeks 1 through 5, I speak about ascension. Ascension. Okay. Ascension is the goal of the lifetime for those who are spiritually awakened. So we need to come to the understanding and knowing we don't exist, yet we are very real. Yes, we are real, and yet the physical form is an illusion. So weeks 1 through 5, I delve deep, I speak about it, I get into it. So I'm not going to do that here. Okay, let's go. So this is the author, Kevin Fulton. This is one of the reasons why I chose this book, because he speaks on consciousness and reminding us we don't exist. You are not your mind and you are not your body. These are actually tools available to your authentic inner self, consciousness, our pure being. These different words all indicate the same thing, and that thing is experienced as pure presence by Kevin Fulton. The next slide is the same thing. Consciousness is everything. Knowing you are the pure being, knowing that you are the pure being that observes itself in the physical form, we are observators. Observators to say you are the conductor, the eye of awareness that conducts your very existence. We are the observators. We are literally a consciousness that conducts its own life force energy. Consciousness creates its own soul. Consciousness is the all greater than the soul, greater than the light body. You can ascend greater than the light body. I also have that channeling below. All the links to the channelings, everything is below. If you want to watch that video, links are below this video. Humanity, we are simply eyes looking into our own reality to learn lessons. We are literally the nothingness. The nothingness is consciousness. Nothingness is to say we're not physical. We're nothing and everything all at the same time. So we create a physical form simply to learn lessons. Once again, you are not victim of your own manifestation. Create now humanity with deliberate purpose. Okay. Consciousness also refers to what is called the third eye. We are the consciousness that creates our reality. Consciousness can be broken down as well, just like many layers of planes and bodies. Consciousness has different levels of awareness based on many different factors. I can get to that on a later date. So like consciousness, so I get into this part in chapters weeks 1 through 5. And then I speak on basically consciousness itself can be broken down into layers. So you have many layers of planes of existence, many layers of planes of body. So like we have a physical body, we're in the physical plane. You have an astral body in the astral plane, etherical body, etherical plane. So now with consciousness, consciousness itself, the very awareness can be broken down also. Okay. All right. Simply remember humanity. You cannot be a victim of life circumstances. Always manifest your reality. Okay. Always manifest your reality with presence, attention, and intention. Just saying we are an awareness is the very basic because we don't even understand that much. Okay. So that was the download from the other day. So just saying that we're an awareness is just the very beginning because we don't understand that much. It's to understand we're layers of body, and in order to manipulate and manifest in the physical realm, you have to have a good grip on the unseen realms. Okay, so the Kabbalah. spiritual truth, completeness, mercy, free will, purity, blessings, love, faith. It goes on and on. The Kabbalah and meditation. This is my favorite part, meditation, because that is the key to this Kabbalah right here. Let's keep going. Okay, so the only reason that I bring forth the Kabbalah right now and actually go into the chapter, just one of her chapters, is because she speaks about the Kabbalistic cross, and that is what he gets into for the light body, is the Kabbalistic cross. So the next book is in the spiritual book study is the Kabbalah, A Beginner's Guide by Kate Readers. A very good book for beginners. She breaks it down. I like things broken down, and talk about breakdown. She breaks it down so well. This book study is going to be so good. So no, I do not have the PDF for this one. You have to buy it on your own. It's really cheap. I got my book for $2. $2. Online at that. All right, let's go. Oh, wait. So what she gets into just in the first chapter is, where does the Kabbalah come from? Who wrote it and when? Why is it important? Who reads the Kabbalah? How can we work with it? Exercise 1, the Kabbalistic cross and exercise. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, let's get into it. So this is the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah. Basically, the Kabbalah is many different consciousness as well. And the Kabbalah is you. Based on learning the Kabbalistic cross, I'm learning that you are the Kabbalah. It's an outline, it's a map of yourself, really. It's a map. So even the Kabbalah, it can be very individual based on yourself. But let me keep on going, because that's how I see it as of right now. But let's keep going. So this is these right here, these circles are called sephiras, which means wheels. Okay. And so the very top right here is Keter. Then you have Chakma, Bana, Doth. So Doth is usually right here. It's a whole thing about knowledge. It's also the entrance to the abyss. You have Chesed, Geburah, Tepereth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malkuth. So Malkuth is right here. Yesod is right here. I think Hod is right here. Netzach, Tepereth, Geburah, Chesed. So I haven't labeled it. This is just what the definitions are right here. So the Keter is the top. So it's the pure spirit. Chakma means spiritual will. Then Bana is spiritual love. Doth is knowledge. Chesed is individual love. Geburah is individual will. Tepereth is ego. Netzach is feeling. Hod is thoughts. Yesod is subconsciousness. Is the subconscious, Yesod. Malkuth is external world. Okay. So this is the first chapter in her book in terms of the exercise. So in the book, the Kabbalah, The Beginner's Guide by Kate Readers, the introduction, she goes into the Kabbalistic cross exercise. So I broke this down myself, and when I did the cross, I was channeling, and I was told I basically initiated myself, and I started channeling as a whole. It was a whole thing for me. But
Channeling, when you
ahead.
said channeling, how was this experience different than how you channeled before?
This one was different because, hold on. I'm getting its sacred moments. I can't really get into it, but every time I was gonna do the cross, it would tell me I got this understanding, like what I'm doing is kind of, it's an initiation basically. I'm initiating myself into this work, and which is a Jewish text, which is very sacred, and it's a whole thing. I even got channelings from sacred beings because of this. So yeah, so I don't know how much, I know that I can't share this for sure, so I'm not going to say who the beings were, but it's deep, and I'm going to find out how much of it I can share later on about the Kabbalah. They say you could tell it's the Zohar. So have you heard of the Zohar?
No, girl, I'm beginning. So that's how come I was just trying to figure out like what the difference is, like either experience, you know, the sensations you feeling like, you know, as far as when you normally channel versus you channeling this way.
Okay,
Just so that I can better understand, you know?
so when I was doing it before, I could do there's Ator, which is like you'll see it when I go through. It's like saying our Father, Son, Holy Spirit. For those people who are like, were Catholic or grew up Catholic, you know, you put the Father would be the forehead, right? So when I went to go and say Ator, I can't say it right, but when I went to go do that, it said, I felt like, okay, I can't. It's like, if you, from this point on, are you ready to go into that chapter, into your life, into this spiritual text, this Hebrew text? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm down, I'm doing it, I'm here. So it was like an initiation, and I felt like I was guided into what to do, what to say next, which was a little bit more elaborate than even what the authors were talking about. What the authors were talking about, I went in a little deeper because Spirit and I were just talking and connecting. I felt guided, like I was told what to do, how to do it. And
Okay.
I speak light language, so light language was also involved in every one of the moves, every one of the crosses that I was doing. So yeah, I got really in depth. So I feel honestly, I'm just giving you the book version. So that's why I say that's why I was saying even the Kabbalah is very individual, because I'm not, you know, you might do the cross, you might get into it, and your experience is going to be different, because essentially you are the Kabbalah. Basically, it's an outline of your consciousness, your awareness. You are the Kabbalah, you're the cross. So you're going to find out when I start going through. Have you ever tried it? Oh, you haven't, right?
No,
No.
I'm like, this is the first time I've even heard about this language.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten curious, and this is like my first time actually pursuing it and actually doing it. A lot
Oh,
of times
okay.
I just read it, but I actually read it and do it, because like, what's the point of all of this work if you're not going to do it yourself? So, oh, that's what I forgot to do. I meant to record now. Whatever, I'll record it from here. All right. Okay. I just want to show the people that I'm recording. This will be the next book, Kabbalah, A Beginner's Guide by Kate Readers. The next book. This is the next book. So we're going to go straight into her exercise. Let's see real quick. She teaches where the Kabbalah comes from, who wrote it and when, why it's important, who reads the Kabbalah, how can we work with it. Exercise 1, the Kabbalistic cross. So that's what we get into right away, is the Kabbalistic cross. Okay. So this exercise is particularly effective in reestablishing contact with the inner tree of life. To me, the inner tree of life just reminds me of the 2 other books that I'm reading currently about just getting in tune with the inner world, the inner you. So the inner tree of life, and bringing with it the realization that there is a higher, pure side up to the self, which goes into mind magic when he says that you are the pure being, pure consciousness, pure awareness through meditation when he speaks of mind magic. So I'm going to be referencing big time. That's why I totally love this book, because it looks like everything is very much connected to the inner world. Okay. By strengthening the aura, it provides protection from any unwanted energies that introduce into your space. It heals the self and the planets, whilst balancing the mind and body. It will clear the area and should therefore be practiced prior to any Kabbalistic work. Okay, so it seems like the cross is something to be done for protection. It balances the inner worlds inside of you. You are the universe. There's literally planetary alignments from within you. The biggest universe there is within you. From when you get into the mystical world, you find that the only world that matters is the world within you, within yourself.
Girl, it's just like, it's crazy, because it's just like, I was having this conversation with someone who's like, super religious and stuff like that. And you can only go so far in that, and having those conversations with folks who are religious, but more specifically Christian, because they tend to have a very narrowed perspective, which all falls on the Bible. So their spirituality doesn't expand beyond that. So it's kind of difficult to sometimes have that, have open dialogue or conversations about other spiritual experiences that aren't necessarily discussed in the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
totally understand.
yeah, so, and I was just, and just speaking with the conversation, and I just remember saying, like, it's no offense, because I always want to be respectful of, people's belief systems, because I never want to force feed my ideologies down somebody else's throat, because to me, I would be no better than Christians. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you don't want to say Christians, you want to say that, like, the church, really, the high church. Anyway, it's hard not to offend people when we start getting into spirituality versus religion. There's a big conflict and contradiction in religion versus what the truth is. And then it's a matter of tapping in. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, but you're right. When I say Christians, I'm looking at it from like the bigger the overall system. You know what I'm saying? System, as far as it being the politics of it, because it's very political, but I'm not going to even go there. But anyways, what I was going to say was, just me, us having the conversation. And I remember her saying, clearly states, she said, I know the Bible, front and back and inside and out. So, I have a very good or great relationship, intimate relationship with God. And, I'm not her, so I'm not going to tell her what her experiences are. But the only thing that I remember clearly remembering in that conversation is, I'm like, as I'm learning stuff, I'm like, listen, you knowing the Bible front and back, inside and out, you're still at the infancy stage of this vast knowledge just to be learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, there's just so much. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to add on that.
Yeah, that book, dude. That book is something else. I'm not gonna say anything about it, because it's not that it's completely gone, but it's not the complete truth, and a lot of things are omitted. And then on top of that, what I was gonna say, on top of that, it's like, if it's not coming from that book, then nothing else matters. And it's like, but wait up. There's other things other than this book. You know what I mean? That's when people have to start investigating about the Bible. Where's the Bible from? When was the Bible? How many times have the Bible been rewritten? Why was it rewritten? Who wrote the Bible? Where is it coming from? It's just like, the thing is, like, they could believe in the mysticism as coming from God, it's coming from God. Yes, it does. But then why was it rewritten so many times? Why was it like this? How is it like that? Why? There's no reason. I mean, there's no reason to be afraid to ask questions about religion. If someone tells you not to ask questions, then there's a problem, because then there's a hindrance somewhere there. You should ask questions about spirituality, ask questions about every aspect, everything. Why? Why do you breathe? Why do I exist? Why do I have my eyes open? Why was I born? Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so exercise 1, the Kabbalistic cross exercise, okay? So allow enough time and space to do this exercise. It will last approximately 5 minutes, and you will need to strengthen your arms as far to the side as possible. Okay, so she says, stand upright. So this is like visualization. Visualize this for people who are going to see this later. Visualize this. Stand upright with your arms next to your body without creating a stiff posture. Okay. Then allow your breathing to develop into a pattern where you fill your lungs to their fullest capacity, holding the breath for a few seconds and then letting it all go. Repeat this for a while and feel how the pattern starts to flow. So it's like kind of like reconnecting with the body again, through the breath. Become aware of the fact that you are doing this exercise with purpose and free from any pressure. You choose to be here now in this space, doing this exercise. Allow your mind to empty itself of all feeling and thoughts. So becoming aware is the reason for the breath, okay? Repeat and feel how the pattern starts to flow. So you have to basically getting in tune with your breath, with the mind and the body, becoming aware of the fact that you are doing this exercise with purpose and free from any pressure. You choose to be here now in this space doing this exercise. Allow your mind to empty itself of all feeling and thoughts. So it's like a little like meditation. So get yourself in a meditative space. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I came across, it's the first time I've ever heard of it. And the reason, when I say first time I've ever heard of it, like oftentimes when you hear of meditation, at least how I hear it, I always hear of, make sure you're in a quiet space. Yes, you can either meditate with like chants or music or what have you. But the one thing that they tend to focus on is just like carve out time, carve out space so that you're secluded and that you are, quiet with yourself. But there was another approach that that I was introduced to. I came across it on YouTube actually, and they were talking about being in a how one can achieve being in a meditative state like 24/7. And I'm like, huh? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Because I know how I am. I tend to get very easily distracted when, yes, I can multitask as far, doing a whole bunch of different things to get done. But when anybody multitask, it's just like you're never fully present, in one area or not. You're just mindlessly doing things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Yeah.
like, it was just different. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that before?
I have heard of that. A meditative state, that would, to my understanding, based on how I understand meditation, that is to say you're constantly in the present moment. You're constantly in the now. You're constantly, because meditation is to be focused and aware and present. So that takes a very strong mind. It takes a very strong mind to be aware and present all the time. That means that person is very powerful, because it's not to just say you're in a meditative state and you're awake. So you're constantly, imagine if you're in that state, you know how to set intentions, you know how to create, you know how to manifest, and you're actually living from the inner world and understand that the physical world is the illusion. If you're really doing that, if you are really like constantly in a meditative state, you're very focused. And that focus doesn't necessarily need to be on one thing either. Okay. From my understanding, consciousness can be split in different places. You can be conscious here and astral project other places at the same time. So astral projection, as we've said before, is simply consciousness, a shift in consciousness. So your awareness is able to shift in different spaces, planes, all at the same time based on your awareness. That's why the biggest key and purpose for meditation is intention. You have to have purpose. I think it says it right here. She even says, allow your breath to develop into a pattern where you fill your lungs. I think she even says it here. She says, become aware of the fact that you are doing this exercise with purpose and free from any pressure. So she's telling you, do you know why you're doing this exercise, all right? And you need to be aware of the fact that you're doing this exercise. You literally have to tell people to be aware. Hey, you're aware you're doing this exercise, because some people are not aware of what they're doing. I know this for a fact, because when I be at work, I be like, does she know what she's doing? I guess common sense ain't too common. and it's not our fault. It's no one's fault, really. That's just not how our society functions. We're about fast, quick. But then that's not how you manifest, because now you're having someone else take take possession of your awareness. Take possession of your, you have to be aware. You have to have purpose. You have to know why you're doing this. I didn't want to get into the other slide where I show about presence. That's why for a while I was showing the presence, attention, and intention. Remember how I show that? I don't know if you watch my I always show those three aspects of meditation. The first part of the hardest part is presence, which is just being aware and being so aware that you understand you're not your thoughts. Now I know I'm not my thoughts. When thoughts come in, I'm like, oh, that's not me. I'm not those thoughts. No matter how crazy, no matter how whatever, sane or not, those are not me. They're not me. So then sometimes there's thought forms that come in, and I know that's not even how I think. So other people's thought forms, because thoughts are energy. So other people's thought forms travel too. So I'll pick up someone's, I forgot, I heard a rock band. I don't even listen to rock. It was from the 80s. And that thought form came to me, and I looked up the rock band. I was like, oh, that's not my thought form. I don't even know who these people are. But I've heard of them before. I can't remember call it. But there's thought forms that are not even your thoughts. There are other people's thoughts that come into your mind. So like, it's a jungle out there if you don't have a hold of your mind, my friend. you gotta be strong in this bitch.
That's funny.
You guys, for real, girl. Because I'm learning how to meditate. I literally know. I literally can know when it's not my thoughts at all. Like, I don't even think like that, because I know what I like. And then I even know when it's spirit talking to me, because I've done this for a while now. Oh, that's not how I say. That's not even how I think. Because I know myself. I know who I am. Like, that's the thing. You have to know who you are. You shouldn't even let religion guide you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
religion
true.
is not who you are. You know what I mean? Religion is what has been given to you. And then there's many people who read the religion and they know in themselves, they come to me and say, Melissa, this is in contradiction with this. I'm like, well, question it. oh, but my family says this and that. I'm like, well, then that means you're thinking harder than them. So since you're thinking harder and your mind is stronger, pursue these questions and find out more about them. You know what I mean? Anyway, now I digress. I don't even know what I was talking about no more.
We're talking about thought forms,
Thought forms, yes, and being
intention,
aware.
attention. Yeah.
Yes, girl. So this is what she starts. She says, touch your forehead between the eyebrow with four fingers of not four fingers, but 4 fingers of your right hand. Hold it in that position for a short while and become aware of the higher self residing with you, within you, really, within you. So you're not just doing this mindlessly. She's telling you, put your hands there and say, ate. It's funny, ate, because ate in Creole means floor, right? But I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Is ate, which is say it loud, and it's pronounced ate, which means for thine, meaning for thine. So you say ate, and you hold it there between your brows, and you feel it. Become aware, the word aware, of the higher self residing within you. Okay. And then with the 4 fingers of your right hand, so she's making use of the right hand. If you're a right-handed person, using your right hand, from your forehead in a straight line down to your genital area. And while holding it's there for a short while, become aware of your whole body. So listen carefully, your whole body down to your genital area. You say Malkuth. This is the big cross of the body right here for sure. Say out loud, Malkuth. Pronounce Malkuth, which means kingdom. Then you said move from the genital area using your right, move the 4 fingers of your right hand to your right shoulder. So you go to the right shoulder, and while holding it in that position for a short while, become aware of your willpower. Okay? Willpower, and then you say Ve Gebura. Okay, pronounce Ve Gebura, which means the power. Then the four fingers of your right hand from your right shoulder in a straight line, I meant to say across your chest to your left shoulder, and while holding your finger there for a short while, become aware of all your love energy, and you say Ve Judula. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but I'm doing my best.
It sounds like you're pronouncing them right to me because I've never heard of these words before. So
me too. No, I've heard of them, but I've never to this point really. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it right. We're not, because these are Hebrew. I don't speak Hebrew, so doing my best here. Ve Jedula, which means the glory. Ve Jedula. Okay.
Mhm.
And then, okay, sweetheart. Okay. I'm just busy right now, okay? Okay. Okay. So clasp your hands together in a prayer fashion over your heart and become aware of the space around you. Realize that within you are all the powers of love and will. And you say Le Olam out loud. Le'olam, pronounced le'olam, meaning forever and ever. Okay. Okay, so then extend both your arms. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay, extend both your arms as if you are standing as a cross and visualize both the lines that you have drawn over your body as bright shining light. Realize that you have become a glowing cross extended all the way up, down, left, and right, embracing the whole world. Okay, so that's why she says in the beginning to take 5 minutes. I think she says right here. 5 minutes, approximately 5 minutes, right? Allow enough time and space to do this exercise. So that time, that working in meditation, and it all depends on what it is you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish, essentially. So for this, I would see why you want to take that 5 minutes, because you want to get your breath in. You want to spend like a minute just breathing, getting into it, doing all of this, knowing why you're doing it, for protection, for wholeness, okay, and tapping in basically. So you say Ate, Malkut, Vegebura, Vegedula, La, Olam, and then this is the cross right here. Say Ate. Then she goes down here, Malkut, Vegebura, Vegedula, and then Alahem. So that's the cross. This is from my book, from the book. I couldn't obviously find anything that was like this. And it's like you're connected and protected by the Mother Earth, it looks like. The inner world, basically, it represents the inner world. You're connected with the inner world. And you're protecting yourself by putting in this cross and saying, beware, you cannot come here. It is shielded, it is protected. Everyone should do this cross, they're saying. It's a protection. Okay, realize that you have become a glowing cross extended all the way up, down, left, and right, embracing the whole world. Okay, embracing the whole world. Okay, and then you say aloud, Amen. Allow yourself to realize the meaning of the exercise and how it can and will assist you in the Kabbalistic work. So before you do Kabbalistic work, you protect yourself with that cross. And she says again, allow yourself to realize the meaning of this exercise and how it can and will assist you. So you have to be aware, you have to have intentions, you have to be present, you have to know the meaning, know why you did that cross. What is it for? And then you go from there. Okay, so that is in the Kabbalistic book, the Kabbalah by Kate Reeder. Okay, so now we're continuing. This is the light body method by Ophiel. Okay, the light body by Ophiel. Let's go. Okay, so in the light body, he has the little system, the dream method, the light body method, the symbol system method. So we did the dream method already. So now we're in the light body. That's the chapter on its own, but I broke it down to three segments because it gets deep and I want to break it down so it can make sense. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so I put this part because he gets into it right here. The light body method. 40 years ago, when I first took up the occult, the first thing that attracted my attention was astral projection, says the author, okay? All through these 40 years, I have given this subject my greatest attention. I first gathered all the information, data that I could about astral projection. After a great deal of study of this material, I began to see some method to it and gradually evolve the 4 systems that you are being given here in this book. The 4 systems were the little method, the dream method, the light body method, and the symbol method, right? Systems that I have tested and found to work. So now we're going into the light body method. The light body method. So I kind of show this real quick, but I don't get into it this week because it isn't necessarily needed, but weeks prior, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think weeks 3 and 4, I go into it a little bit, and I still don't go into it because it gets in depth. The physical body in correlation to the physical plane is in depth. The etherical body in correlation to the etherical plane, astral body, astral plane, higher astral body, astral lower astral plane. It goes. It's deep. So this is just the guideline, because if within every one of these bodies, and there's different planes, and within every plane there's different, it goes so deep. There's many downloads when I read this other weeks where I give information about each one of them a little bit based on my downloads as I
reading
kind of
them.
channel. Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that crazy though? Because that's been happening to me. That's been happening to me where like I'll start reading something and then I'll get additional information than what's on there to
You should
explain
write
it.
it down. Write them down.
I do write it down. I have a
Okay.
journal. I write it down every single time. But
Yes.
it's been crazy. And you know what else? One thing is, I just want to speak on this topic. Like, it's so crazy, but a lot of times I get YouTube recommended videos. I'm like, how the fuck what the hell? Like, I kid you not, today I received a recommended video on vibration and how that ties into pyramids, which ties into the astral body. So it's just like they connect math, science, and spiritual aspect. Isn't that crazy? I was
Yep.
just listening to it right before I hopped up on here, but it legit was talking
I don't
about.
even know what they teaching the kids. I don't understand what, like, my kids are homeschooled, and I'm like, I don't get it, because they not teaching the kids. They teaching the kids basic stuff, reading and
Oh
writing,
yeah,
but they're not teaching them like how to be free and enlightened, and what is the physical body, what is the etherical body. As adults, we shouldn't be learning this. We should actually be, way surpast this. But we're learning it now. We're like first graders, because the whole humanity, from my understanding about the ancient societies that were able to astral project and do all this great stuff, this is baby work. This is baby stuff. They were able to do more than just that. They didn't have doctors, nor did they need doctors, because everyone healed themselves.
Tell me
No one
about
was
it.
reliant on the system. Did you hear my crazy channeling the other day that I put about what is $1 million?
No, I did not. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, I was gonna send it to you, but I know I'll be bugging you with my channel, with my.
I'm like, I'll catch it. I'm subscribed to your channel, so I'll see it.
No, they shadow banned me, and I'm not even a big channel. Like, how y'all shadow the fuck?
Wait, hold on. They shadow banned you?
I think. Let me not speak. I don't know YouTube. I don't know. But like, some people, I don't think they do get some of my videos unless you go onto my channel and look.
Oh.
I don't know. Did you put the notification bell?
Yeah, I put all notifications, but sometimes I realize that some videos I don't be getting all their notifications. So I legit went through all my subscriptions, turned the notification off, and then turned it back on all. and now I'm seeing a difference as far as like me getting them
Oh, that could
from
be
my
it too.
channels. Yeah.
That's what's
Plus
up.
we were in Mercury retrograde, so that could be it too. I don't know, girl. But
Well, I'm
I
gonna send it to you. You tell me how that shit sounds. The shit that I fucking channeled, girl. Oh, I'm cursing.
no, that's fine. Like, and the crazy thing that I channeled was the, I guess you would call it, what I call it, channeled or download. I don't know.
It's all the same.
Okay. So was the human experience, what is it? The spiritual being, but living out the human experience on earth using a tornado as an example. Girl, it was some crazy ass shit. Excuse my French. I forgot where I'm at. But yeah, I was just like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like a whole wealth of information, just as far as like the stuff I was able to pick up on that. But I was gonna say this though, as far as like the, what is it, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical bodies and stuff like that, the video that came up was talking about pyramids, and it specifically was saying how when they were building the pyramids that they actually were thinking about how they were using the construction of the pyramids as antennas to be able to connect with the astral body. Like, it was on some deep
Oh
deep
yeah, I think
stuff
I've
like
seen
that.
that. Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh,
And I'm like, well, I seen a video similar to that. Yes.
okay.
But I don't know if it's that exact video that you're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, no, well, I want to hear more now. Is that all?
Well, yeah, no, that's all about it,
Okay, okay.
because I couldn't get into the video because I'm like, oh, it was interesting. I just literally started like 2 or 3 minutes of it, and then I stopped it, so I could come here. But I'll
All
finish. Yeah, but whenever I finish it.
right, all right. Let me keep going. I have a lot of, well, it'll go by quick. Let me keep going. All right. So this I'm gonna go through quickly because you gotta check out the other
Oh,
videos
excuse me.
about, no problem. Check out the other videos where I get into basically what astral projection is. So the reason why you don't remember is that the bulk of your consciousness is in the physical body and remains there most all your life unless you consciously transfer it elsewhere. And now you have the secret of astral projection in a nutshell.
Hmm.
You do not project any etheric body or any astral body. You do not project anything. All you do is to transfer consciousness to another body other than the physical body, right? You just transfer your consciousness. Right now, our consciousness is in the physical body because we're right here in the physical.
Mhm.
Now we need to learn how to transfer our bodies into the etherical body, which should be very easy because the etherical body is very close to the physical body. Then the astral, then the higher astral, lower astral, the mental. So now when you get into the very high, they say it's not even a projection anymore.
Damn.
So these, it can get deep, right? So all of this is awareness, all the same, they're saying to me now. They're saying, yes, all awareness. It doesn't even matter. It is all awareness. It's just different perspectives of awareness. At this time, we're right here in the physical. So, yes, yes. Let me see what happened here. Let's keep going. I understood that. You understood that? What I said?
Yeah.
Keep going. Okay. So I'm just reading off what the author says. I thought was very interesting, and I'm like, I can't leave this out of the slide. This section contains all the knowledge you need in the way of theory practice to enable you to conduct a magical operation for your benefit, called the creation of a body of light. The name of this operation, creation of a body of light, means that that you, by following the procedures herein outlined, can create on the inner planes a body vehicle that you can use for astral projection and for many other things, and in many other ways for inner plane work. This body of light creation is basically an extension of you. Okay? So you're just shifting the consciousness. You're creating another body, which is the body of light. So that's going to be like another version of you. And you can shift your consciousness into that creation to do many things. First, we need to learn how to create the body of light. So let's keep going. Oh, and I like where he goes again. The inner planes. Every single one of these books talk about the inner plane. In order to control the physical world, you have to tap into the inner plane, the inner world, the universe inside of you, because you are ever eternally and multi-dimensional and everlasting. The physical realm is an illusion because it's limited. But it's limited only if you believe it to be, because you can live however long you want to. If you knew, you can live forever, really, if you really wanted to. But from the perspective of the inner realm, like you'd be able to do things other than go to work. The BS that society wants to control you to. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Okay, it has been said before, and I will repeat it again. This is per the author. Okay, it has been said before, and I will repeat it again and again. The outer physical plane is the result of inner plane activities. The author himself is telling you this. You have to tap in meditation, imagination, creation from within you, and knowing, not hoping, not believing, not all this other stuff, knowing that you are the magics in order to create. Anyway, so let me continue. You cannot be successful in handling the outer plane until you begin to master the inner planes. The reason being that each lower plane is negative to the plane above it. So in one of my channelings, I asked Spirit, like, what does that mean? Which is simply a connection to the next planes, because each is like a chain and it's connected. It's a whole thing. Because to say that didn't make sense to me, because what is the different poles? But that's a whole thing in itself. That's why I really wasn't even too sure if I wanted to put that up, because I like to explain things like, what does that mean? The reason being that each lower plane is negative to the plane above it. Okay, it will stand to reason then the only way to influence the outer physical plane is to work on it from the inner. Know that this knowledge is not new. Every single thing that has ever been done on this earth has been done through first working on the inner planes. This inner outer work action, however, is absolutely unknown to the greatest majority of people on this earth. You are now going to learn how to do it on purpose and with more power.
Sure.
Okay. So let's get into it here. So the inner planes. So, okay, so this isn't quite the exercise yet. This is him. I actually don't have to put this, but I do, because I love how he explains the astral, and it gets into what is the astral realm and everything. So this inner plane body is naturally built up and or constructed out of the matter of the inner plane. The matter of the inner plane glows with a light of its own, and the deeper into the inner plane one goes, the brighter the glows, the inner plane matter. So the matter, which is in air quotes, is kind of like, is used loosely because it's not physical, because we're going into the inner plane. So the matter of the inner plane glows. Things in the inner plane glows with a light of its own. And the deeper into the inner plane one goes, the brighter the glows, the inner plane matter. So the more and more the things in that plane glows, this inner plane matter seems like a star to the clearly clairvoyant, and they gave this plane its name astral plane or star-like plane. Also, the name clairvoyant comes from this same source. The word clairvoyant means clair, which means light, and voyant, which means seeing. So light seeing, or seeing by the inner plane light. So people who are clairvoyant, people who can see through the physical plane, that means they are tapped in their inner plane, they're in their own inner world, and they can see the light from within, which means why they may possibly see ghosts and see spirits and see other beings, because their inner plane is glowing. If you notice, I'm going to go back a few slides. Do you notice how even here, she goes, extend both your arms as if you are standing as a cross and visualize both the lines that you have drawn over your body as bright, shining light. Realize that you have become a glowing cross, extending all the way up, down, left, and right, embracing the whole world, because you're cultivating the inner planes. That's why, you know, you have this is a whole thing. The inner world is the only world that exists. That's really the only real world. The physical world is a dunce illusion, and it's done already. So okay, hopefully whoever watches this is like, Melissa makes sense. Okay, so this inner light affects whole. Does it make sense to you, Christina?
I mean, a little bit, it does. I'm just gonna have to go back and read it because I'm just like, right now it's an introduction to it, but it's a lot. So I'm just taking it in.
Okay, that's fine. Just go through the slides. Take your time. Anyone watching this later, you could pause it. You can ask me questions. I can see if I can download, do the research. That's why it's a book study for people like me that really are visual learners, kinetic learners. Like I probably have to touch a star if I could to figure it out. Like that's the way I am. I'm very visual. I like to see things. Anyway, so there we go. This inner light affects holds throughout all the inner planes. So this inner light affects holds all the inner planes. Astral means light. Okay, so let's go. In the etherical plane, it is rather subdued and consists of hardly more than a glow. So the plane closer to the body, like the physical body, the physical world does not glow. We know that for sure. You know, not generally speaking, not to what they're speaking of. Then you have the etherical body, which is subdued, they're saying, and hardly goes. Then it is in the astral plane that it has the real star-like quality of intense point of light. As one leaves the lower astral and proceeds higher, the light increases from small points to large points, and one leaves the astral to enter the mental plane. Everything becomes all light when you get into the mental plane. All forms disappear in this blinding light of all colors. So there's no form in the higher up you go. You know, the matter does not matter anymore. You're just going into pure light to become the nothingness, the observer, the true observer, the higher up in ascension awareness you go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So is all this the higher up? Are you also describing like the dimensions too?
Yes.
Is that what? Okay.
It's like we have a physical body, so we're in a physical plane, right? This is
Yeah.
a physical body, so we wake up, we eat, you don't have to eat. There's people that are those are people who are tapped in, that are breatharians that don't eat, you know.
I'm good on that. Okay.
But dude, it's hard. I like to eat. I'm trying my hardest to work on like at least eating healthier, but we're not gonna get to that. We're gonna leave that alone. um, but you know, you have the physical world and you live here, but then that's the consciousness. We've only tapped into the physical realm and only known ourselves as physical beings. So to speak of an etherical body, etherical realm doesn't make sense. When if you meditate, you tap into that. As soon as you close your eyes and breathe in for this to 5-10 minutes, you're already tapped in. You're already tapped into another realm. Because remember, you're only consciousness. Well, I don't want to say only consciousness because you're more than that. It goes deep, but at least at bare minimum, understand you're not the physical body. You are more than that. You're the observer in the physical plane, but then you could tap into the etherical. Closing your eyes, you're already tapped in. Then you could go into the astral, shift your awareness. Have you ever received visions in your meditations?
I've received visions before, yeah.
See, you're already tapped in. You're an old soul. So this is all like your soul's like, oh, this again. Yeah, we remember this.
Girl.
It's just us. Our consciousness doesn't remember. We need to align with our souls because our souls are old. So our souls is like, we're just waiting on this girl to like tap in already. But time. Do you understand that perspective though? Like Christina, yes, but then your soul is like, yeah, we know this. This is reviewed.
Yeah, like, you know, we've been on this. Like, we just waiting for you to catch up.
Yeah, we just waiting for you to catch up. In due time for the both of you, they say. In due time, you'll know. You'll get there. We all will. We'll be there in due time. Okay. Also, all matter. Let's continue. Also, all matter in the lower planes, starting with the etherical, will have the appearance of moving or flowing slowly about. As you become more and more familiar with these inner planes, you will learn to stop now and again and examine the nearby matter carefully. The intensity of the light glow and its movements will show you where you are. It is important that you should learn the following ritual and master it completely. Okay, so this is the Kabbalistic Cross. This is his version. Do you see how I showed you her Kabbalistic Cross? Hers is way more elaborate than his, I think. He doesn't tell you to touch your genitals to go that far. This one he says to the lower breast. So, because the genitals would be the root chakra, because you can also break down the Kabbalah in terms of chakras as well. Crown chakra, third eye chakra.
I like to learn more about chakras. I bought a book on it so I can learn more about it.
Well, yeah, the chakras are very important. I like this book because she shows you how the chakras correlate to the Kabbalah. And it very much, like I said, the Kabbalah is basically you. You are the Kabbalah. You are the cross. You are the cross. You have to acknowledge yourself as the cross. You have to activate yourself as the cross. But essentially, you are the cross. You have the cross. You have the toroidal sphere. You have the Merkaba. You have auric field. All of that is you simply have to acknowledge it. You have to activate it. You have to shield. And you protect it, because people who know, they're called observators. And they tap into your consciousness if you're not careful, and they can influence your own awareness, your thoughts and stuff. You have to know the difference, girl. It's spiritual warfare out there, man.
Girl, tell me about it.
Tell
me about it.
Okay, so the first do the cross exercise, right? So you learn the following material and learn it so well that you will be able to recite it without stopping to think about what comes next. It sounds easy, and it is easy, but it is a bit complicated, involving, as it does, some movements and words, actions. So touch the forehead, just like the lady. She spells it differently, and she gives you he gives you a different meaning to it. So touch the forehead and say Ator, which means thou art. Touch the lower breast and say Malkuth, which means the kingdom. Touch the right shoulder and say Vegevura, which means and the power. And touch the left shoulder and say Vegejula, and the glory, which means and the glory. Clasping the hand and fingers together before the breast, say Le Olam, which means forever, amen. Do you see what it is? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going back again, but you see that? Le Olam, clasping your fingers, your hands together and praying freshly over your heart and becoming aware. So she does a whole body one. She does the whole body. You got Atem, Malkuth, Geburah Belcher, like she does like that. But he does just Malkuth, breast bone, this, and then come back. So
question. You know how when they say as above, so below? So is it more accurate to say as within is without?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, based on what you're talking about with like the inner beings, like it makes more sense.
It means the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's all perspective. I would say as within, so without. Because nothing out here really exists. It's all an illusion. It's just your imagination. Like, as I'm saying it, I'm understanding it. And then it's a game. And then you learn it's a game. And it's been played wrong. You should, girl, you need to listen to matter of fact, go check it out below the link. I'm going to put the link under this, where I explain to humanity that money is an illusion. It's such an illusion. It's not even funny. When they explain it to me, it's not even funny. Like, that means they really wasting the kids' time in school. They're wasting our time, basically, from birth till now. Literally, we're wasting time because they're saying that money isn't anything. You can manifest. If we understood our inner world so much so that we couldn't even bring forth a dynasty of our own, because many of us, like you and I, we're old. We can manifest our own kingdoms right here, and it would be allowed because we're gods today.
I've often, I don't know.
Here.
Is this true or not? Because I've heard before, like, okay. So I've heard as far as like manifesting, some people make it seem like, oh, it's easy to manifest. You just have to do like these series of rituals and then boom, you manifest. And I'm like, oh, it's not that easy. Because I'm like, I've done some of those things and the things that they say was going to happen did not happen for me. So obviously is more than just it being ritualistic, meaning just doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
we're going beyond that, girl. We're not. I don't want to say too much. Like, we're me and you. When what I'm trying to say is that today. When I say today, it's my higher self. That's how she speaks. She goes today, like the now. Because
so question. So you supposed to be a Black Abraham Hicks? Are you gonna be a Black Abraham Hicks up in this bitch? I mean, I'm sorry. This is your presentation. But
Abraham has no race or gender. Abraham is what it's called. See, that's a challenge.
I know, but that's
Abraham is not even a person.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the Black version.
I'm only saying that because I know everything is white. No offense to white people who watch this. No offense. Because it's not that it's all white, it's only that's all we see.
That's what I'm saying.
And everybody, their mama's done this shit before, been doing this shit before the United States ever existed. You know what I mean? Before this
Yeah.
this existed. It's not nothing new under the sun. Even the author just told you ain't nothing here new. So, but I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. No, I'm gonna be Melissa. I'm gonna be the water dragon that does it, that speaks. You know, I just happen to be black. Just happen to be,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard of the channelers that are different race say certain things, and that's why, like, when they come for me, these people that I don't even know, it's like, you still consider yourself existing. We're going to the non-existence. We're not gonna manifest by doing rituals and trinkets. We don't even, you know what I mean? I don't want to get all glorious on here, you know what I mean? But it's deeper than the trinkets. When I say you're gonna manifest $1,000,000, I'm not gonna say you gotta dance the hokey pokey and turn yourself about. I'm saying you're gonna close your eyes and manifest because you know you're God today. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying like you're greater than the universe. I'm saying because you are the universe. You are the being that is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people were like, oh, that's blasphemous. You're saying you're God. I spoke to this lady, and I'm really gonna digress. I'm gonna get through this real quick and get off real quick. I asked her, she says, because she was on the Bible thing. She said, God is, and it became flesh, and it was the word. I'm like, okay, before flesh, before the word, who's God? Oh, but God is the light, and who is God? She goes, but in the Bible, I'm like, girl, I was asking you, who's God? Who's God? Jesus. I'm like, Jesus is not God. I said, who's God? You said, if you read in the Bible, it says Jesus has a creator, right? So who's God? And she couldn't answer. I'm like, all right then. You can't something that's infinite and the biggest universe. Matter of fact, when I channel, they say using God, the name God is just like, that's a limited perspective because it's more than just that. It's infinite. It's there's no
Yeah.
name. There's no name to what it is. It's just the all, the it's, it's
Yeah. I
infinite.
mean, yeah, because I mean that's why there's like what so many different names you can associate
Yes.
it. The issue is because appointing humanistic features
Yes.
to something that's infinite, then
It's
that's
just like, it's
limiting.
a man. It's a man.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
Yeah.
God got a penis now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, not to be
Wow.
disrespectful, but I'm just
God,
saying, you know what I mean?
no, you're
Stop it.
no. No,
Let's stop
you're
this.
no,
It's so deep, my
no.
friend.
I hear no, listen, I hear you. And the crazy thing is that I was just like, wow. When I was literally thinking about everything, I'm just like, it just hit me. It was just like I had a light bulb moment where I was just like, yo, like this is a well, you said it, but it really dawns on me like this is like a type of game. It dawned on me because you
It's a
said
game.
avatar. You said avatar. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like a game because and the game is
No,
never
not
ending.
like, girl. It
It's
is a game.
no,
It's a
well,
straight up
yeah.
Monopoly game. Worse,
Yeah.
they're saying, because at least Monopoly, you have to follow the rules. They say here they don't even follow rules. They say they were looking into it now. We're like, what the fuck are you doing in this realm here? We gotta fix this up. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
there's like
girl.
well, that's it's like when I said game, but you're right, because I feel because it's another part of it's sometimes it's hard to use um the English language to describe it because sometimes it just isn't. Like in Creole, how you can say certain words and then you try to translate it to English and it just
Yes.
it doesn't have that same type of meaning. Like you say
Yes,
it in
doesn't.
English and
It's
yeah,
dry.
yeah. So it's kind of like, so sometimes, when you have certain epiphanies and or experiences or, downloads or channeling, sometimes it's hard to find the language to describe it what it is so that people can grasp it or understand it. But it had just like hit me where I was just like, yo, I'm in legit game. Like this is like you ever heard that song? It's a song that never ends. Like
Yes.
that's basically what this game is. And the
Yes.
end goal is there
It
is
is
no end
eternal
goal.
if you make it eternal. You don't want to play this game forever. That's why it's time to ascend. Because
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
that's what yeah, but I'm just like, there's levels to this ascension. Like, once you ascend, there's
yes,
another level to ascend. There's another level to
yes,
ascend. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
It's
So
infinite. It's
that's what I'm
infinite.
saying. So it's like a song that never ends. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes,
the end goal is an expansion of consciousness, but it never is never ending. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
I'm just like,
They're saying right now, they're saying the more you can expand in consciousness is based on the awareness of your own consciousness, based on the age of the soul. Because the soul can fly higher than we know. It's a whole thing. It's so crazy. The consciousness.
yeah, girl. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I had to drink some water because my mouth was so dry.
It's
Okay,
777.
Where?
77 degrees and then 7, like it being 7:29 your time. I'm looking at your computer.
Oh, you're seeing on my oh, is that what you're like? Yeah. It is, huh? Yeah. Ooh, we're in alignment, girl. We're in alignment. 3 7s. That's good luck. And we got 3s here. We got a lot of repeating numbers going on here. All right, girl, let's do this. So, okay, so I think I went through the exercise, but so we touch our forehead and say, ator. I'm saying ator, like in Spanish. I don't know.
Spanish. I'm like, bitch, when you start speaking Spanish?
I don't know. I'm going to try my best here. Touch the forehead and say, ator.
Yeah, you're multilingual up
the
in this
lower, touch the lower breast and say makut. Don't be making fun of me, girl. I'm trying.
No, I'm here for it. Go ahead.
Touch the right shoulder and say vegevura, and touch the left shoulders and say vegejula, and clasp the hand and say olaham. The overall spirit knows your intentions. That's why everything's based on intentions. If you're saying intentions to do it, they know that we don't know what we're saying, but they know like what it is we're doing. Yeah, they know what it is we're doing. So it is. So it is. So it is.
Yeah.
And therefore it is. All right, let's keep going. Learn that exercise thoroughly. Okay, so you gotta learn this. Wait. I'm going ahead of myself. You gotta learn this exercise, that Kabbalistic cross. When you're getting into this Jewish work, you have, or Hebrew work, or whatever you want to call it. Now I know what to call it. Well, I just say Kabbalistic better. The Kabbalistic, when you're getting into the Kabbalah, do the cross. That is one of your biggest protection in the astral realm. This is when you're going into the astral realm, when they see that cross, people stand back. I mean, beings rather, and people, and conscious people. There's people that are in that realm that know what's up, and they be funky. They play crazy in that realm too. They're telling me right now. Yeah, everybody play crazy, but that's okay. They know who's born again. They know what's up. Well, at least now they know. Okay, so learn that exercise thoroughly. Later, you will expand this exercise in several directions. Do not force your learning, but take it easy. Yeah. However, do learn it so well that you can repeat it quickly without thinking about what is coming next, and thus not hesitate while reciting it. So do it good, know it, and you're just doing it fast. Learn it, set intentions, and so we go. So this is another ritual. So before you do this ritual, you do the Kabbalistic cross. Once you do that, you do this one now. You face east, visualize a steel dagger in your right hand, and you trace a banishing earth star called a pentagram. Okay? Then, when you have completed the star, stab it in the center with the dagger and say Yod Hey Vod Hey. And Yod Hey Vod Hey, I meant to look it up too. I think it means God, essentially. That's how it's said in their language. It's spelled YHVH, which is Yod Hey Vod Hey. And then that's what I like about the book. She breaks down Yod Hey Vod Hey too. So the Kabbalah, this next book is off the hook. Okay, so you make the pentagram, then you imagine yourself, you visualize facing east, you visualize a steel dagger in your right hand, trace the banishing earth star called the pentagram. Then when you have completed the star, stab it in the center with the dagger and say Yod Hey Vav Hey. Still holding out arm and dagger, turn to the left, trace another star in the same way and say Adanya. Turn to the west and trace the star and say Hey Yay. Turn to the north and trace the star and say Agala. Return to the east, extend arms in the form of a cross facing earth and say, before me is Raphael, behind me is Gabriel, and on the right hand is Michael, and on my left hand is Ariel. Before me flames the pentagram, and behind me shines the sixth-rayed star, which I think is the Star of David. Isn't it?
I think so.
And then you repeat the Kabbalistic cross. So then you repeat this again. So this is to open the, this is what you do for the opening. You do the ritual, and then you do the Kabbalistic cross again. So it kind of like seals the deal. Okay, so this is the pentagram. So the pentagram really represents the 5 elements. So when it's facing up like this is protection. Even this is protection.
Wait, what are the 5 elements?
Earth. You have earth right here. Fire, air, water, and ether.
Oh, okay.
Spirit.
I should have known that with it being purple.
Yeah. So when it's facing down, it means like.
You got me wanting to sing the Captain Planet.
Huh?
You got me wanting to sing the Captain Planet cartoon theme song. You remember that?
The Captain Planet. No.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. You never heard that song?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
What about it though?
Well, they were like, we are Planeteers. You can be one too, because saving the planet is a thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Here is Captain Planet.
Was that PBS?
No. I guess I was singing that song because it reminded me of that, because everybody that was a Planeteer had to say fire, air, water.
Oh, that was on PBS, wasn't it?
Oh, probably, girl. I don't remember. I just remember.
Yeah, they had their own elements, huh?
Yeah.
But they rings. They had rings.
Yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe you remember that.
Yes, girl. We're telling our age, but that's okay.
Yes, girl. That one, I used to love them.
Yeah, I know.
I thought they were the bomb. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so this one gets a little in depth. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just gonna tell you that when it's facing earth down, it's it means like basically your intentions are for the earth when it's, but it goes deep. It goes really deep. I really just wanted to show it to you. I go into what it is here a little bit more. A pentagram is the shape of a regular 5-star pointed star polygon formed from the diagonal line segment of a vortex regular pentagram. Drawing a circle around the 5 point creates a similar symbol referred to as the pentacle, which is used widely by pagans, or just as a sign of life and connection, per Wikipedia. Pentagram, learn to pronounce. Okay, so it's pentagram. It's a noun, and it says a 5-pointed star that is formed by drawing a continuous line in 5 straight segments, often used as a mystic and magical symbol. All right, give me a second. All right. Okay, so I think this is the Rubik exercise. So he says right here, take a teaspoonful of whiskey, brandy, or rubbing alcohol. Okay, I don't have whiskey, I don't have brandy. I think I do have rubbing alcohol. If necessary, and place it on some fireproof material in a dark room or at night. Don't waste the whiskey or burn the house down. light the liquid and note carefully the color of the flames and also how it waves as it burns. Watch this flame, get to know the color, get the color in your mind, practice recalling the colors to mind by looking at it and then closing your eyes and recalling the color. Do this for as long as it is necessary for you to recall this color anytime you think of it. With a piece of blue colored paper, if you can, find a close match. But use the flame as much as is necessary until you get this down perfect and can bring the wavering blue colors to mind anytime or place you are. So you're bringing to life the color of the flame when you burn the alcohol or the brandy, the whiskey. So you're trying to memorize it. So the color of the flame when you do this exercise, so you could bring forth that memory. Again, I personally don't think you need to do this part. I shouldn't say that. To follow it exactly, because maybe there's a reason, there's a mystical reason for it to be done. So I'm not in a place to say not to do it, but you should do it that way, because visualization and learning how to visualize, that's why I put these flames here, blue and red. So, and this is a flame too. These are flames. Okay. So this is a flame right here. This is a flame. Okay, so this is a flaming dagger. He wants you to imagine it blue. So I put blue flames because this one came at red flames. Okay, so learn the visualization of the blue flame and the Rubik exercise. So the Rubik exercise was the exercise hold on. Okay, so this is the Rubik exercise. That's what I think is the Rubik exercise. Okay. Okay, so learn the visualize of the Rubik flame, the blue flame, and the Rubik exercise. Start to visualize the dagger outline in blue flames. What's that? Okay. Okay, so make the stars, see them outline in blue flames. Also the circle as you make it. So you're recalling the firing motion of the exercise prior, so you can imagine it when you're doing this exercise. So you imagine the flame, the dagger in blue flames though. Make the stars, see them outline in blue flame. Also the circle as you make it. When your motion rubric exercise is done, you should be standing in the center of blue flame circle with 4 blue flame stars at each quarter of the earth. So that's very powerful. That's like big time protection.
Wow.
So I think this is it right here. When you see, you do each separate star facing different directions, and you imagine them in blue flames with blue dagger, and with the archangels around you. That's like some big stuff right there. That's big time protection. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so when your motion rubric exercise is done, you should be standing in the center of a blue flame circle with 4 blue flame stars at each quarter of the earth. On blue flame star, 1 blue flaming star in each of the 4 cardinal directions of the earth: north, east, west, and south. At times the work will proceed easily and visualize is clear as a bell, and at other times it will be hard to do and the visualization dull. Know both of these times in your moon sign book and see if you can find anything other about these things that are similar. So see if there's any correlation with your moon sign during this time. I think that's what he means. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so I don't know, this is not a rubric exercise, but let's keep reading it. Now here is a new addition to this exercise. So after you've done that exercise, now he wants you to do this. After you have finished the work as above directed, then before ending with the Kabbalistic cross, add the following exercise to your work. Face the east, save the name Iris. He says later you will vibrate. Enlarge the blue flame star. Visualize a scene like this through the star. A beautiful dawn. He wants you to visualize a scene like this, a beautiful dawn, a pink to rosy clouds. The east is the quarter of air, whose archangel is Raphael, whom you have invoked now for some time. So feel the air. So the east is the air, and it's in correlation to Raphael. That's what he's saying. Let this air wash over you. Let it pierce through and through. Imagine and feel a soft, cool morning breeze coming from the dawn clouds and passing over you. The name of this east wind is Iris. So name it and call it. Finish and gently erase it from your mind. Then we go to Nortis. Okay, Nortis, turn to the south. Say Nortis. The south is the quarter of fire. So visualize the tropics. Feel it, warm to hot. Visualize the blue seas. That's why I put the blue seas as the background. White waves dash in rocky coral reefs. Palm trees swaying in the warm breeze. Feel the gentle heat coming from this quarter, and let it warm you through and through. Finish and gently erase it from your mind. So that's why I have this. Okay, Zephyrus, west. Turn west. Say Zephyrus. Okay, hold on. The west is a quarter of water. So picture and feel gentle, misty rain on your face. Visualize a waterfall with clouds of mist arising from it. The water, after coming over the fall, is coming towards you, and you feel it flowing into your sphere. Feel wetness. Finish and gently erase it from your mind. Boris, which is north. Turn north. Say Boris. Boris. The north is the quarter. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I think I went ahead. Boop, 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 boop. I went way ahead. Okay. Okay. Turn north. Say Boris. The north is the quarter of the element of earth. These quarters have no relation to the usual idea of air, fire, water, and earth, but are concerned only with their principles. Okay, so we're not talking about physical air, fire, water, and earth. We're talking about the principles, so how they act. So fire will be warm, air will be, like moving, water fluid, and earth is sturdy. Okay. Visualize the quarter of earth you first visualize the quarter of earth you first visualize all the vast areas, fields of things that make up the food for you. So he's telling you start imagining that. Great fields of ripened grain and vast fields of ripened corn, vast orchards of fruit trees loaded with fruits of all kinds. Visualize great herds of animal grazing on their food, the green grasses. All is plenty and full of peace. Beyond this fertile land stretch forests of trees that furnish the materials for our homes. Then beyond these forests rise mountain peaks. These mountains contain mines of metals that supply other of our needs. These mountains contain mines of metals that supply other of our needs. I don't know if I read that right. The top of these mountains are ice and snow, which gather there and then melts and flows down to the plain through streams and rivers to nourish and water the growing things below. Train yourself to visualize and realize all this as you say the name of the Nortis. Hold on. So, hold on, let's go back. Because you can't see it right here. So north wind is Boris. Okay. Turn to the east and close the exercise with the Kabbalistic cross. Okay. So this is a whole visualization. You're trying to make this moment as real as possible. Okay. So we're saying Iris is east, Nortus is south, Zephyrus is west, Boris is north. And we imagine it. And then you close it up by turning east, and you close it up with the Kabbalistic cross. So this is like, he's getting deep here. He's getting deep. That's why I was like, oh hell no, this body of light body is not just, I have to break it down. There's no way I could just go through it like that. So
just so that you know, I'm gonna have to go soon, like in 5 minutes.
That's fine. I'm still gonna be here. I'll send you the rest, so if you want to see it and stuff. Or it's just here on the channel.
All right, cool.
Just let me know. Okay, so your first exercise work will be of a rather physical, material nature. That is, it will appear to be. Actually, any and all things that you do down here, any physical action at all, is not limited to the physical plane, but extends up and through all the planes, clear up to the very top. You cannot do anything physical without doing something etherical, astral, mental, and casual as well. You use all the planes all the time at once and the same time, every time you do something physical. So there's many versions of me right now doing this very thing and you, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Preliminary work on the actual creation of the body of light from the material of the astral plane. So this is where we actually getting into doing the actual creation of the light body right here. So what he was showing prior is like rituals, like to protect yourself in the astral realm. That's what it seems like to me, because we're calling forth the angels and guides and facing the different east, and the pentagon is a form of protection. So it's a whole ceremonious protection right there. That is very, very powerful protection.
Wow.
Before
process.
Yes, a process before we actually get into creating the light body. So here we go now. This is the preliminary. We're not even like actually, this is where we're actually starting, right? Okay, to return to our work exercise on the creation of the body of light. Develop, he wants you to develop your connection between you and your physical body. You're like, what do you mean, a physical body? We're connected to it all the time. Are we? So the second exercise will show you how to extend this connection to your whole body. Keep in mind, everything we do here, like he said, goes in echoes into eternity. In other words, that's what that means. When it's in all planes, it happens. Everything you do is in all planes. But we as physical observers need to remember we're not only physical observers. So reconnecting to the physical body the right way helps us connect with the inner body, you know? So the second exercise will show you how to extend this connection to your whole body. The third exercise will show you how to actually make the connection between this new body connection and the first inner body. Then you will come exercises that will definitely connect up this series of bodies into one. You will then have your body of light. So it's a process. So now we're going to develop the connection first. Developing the connection, he says this. Start by looking at your hands. Take a look at your hands. Have you really took a look at your hands? Look at it as if you never saw it before. Hold your hands. Hold your right hand up before you. Turn it in both ways. Move all the parts of it every way they will, and note the actions carefully. So you're looking at your hands, getting involved. Then holding the palm up before you, move the thumb over the palm of the hand and say out loud, thumb. As if you're just in a new body, you say thumb. So you hold your hand up high, right in front of you. Okay, move the thumb over the palm. So you're closing the thumb, and you have 4 fingers up, and you'll say thumb. By closing the thumb, you'll have 4 fingers up and you say thumb. Then bend the finger finger down over the thumb palm and say first finger. Put that down, first finger. Now you have 3 fingers up. Then bend the second finger down over the palm and say third finger. Then bend over the little finger and say little finger. And do, well, it'd be ring finger, then little finger. And do this slowly, very carefully, and watch, feel the action words hard. Get into feeling over these actions. So as you're doing it, watch it. Thumb, pointer finger, ring, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. You're looking at your hands, taking the time to look at your hands. Okay. When you have finished the above cycle, then reverse the process and starting with the little finger, raise the little finger and say little finger, and so on down to the thumb. Do this exercise about 4 times the first day and later increase it to about 10 to 12 times during the day or whenever you think of it and can find the privacy necessary. You're gonna look stupid doing this in front of other people. Don't stew over the exercise, but do it when you feel like it and do it easily and without pressure. After some time have passed, include your left hand in this exercise and increase the time on it until you are doing the exercise for about 25 times a day. Or if you don't like to do it so much, then pick out your own idea of the number of times you want to do it. The point is, don't pressure and don't constantly look for results. Just do it naturally and easily. Next, extend this exercise to your legs, starting with your right leg first and then the left, and so on. Next, sit down in a chair and bend forward and backward and sideways as far as you can, saying the appropriate words as you do the action. Sometime along in here, you should be able to close your eyes and see an image of your inner hand doing the same movement as the physical hands. Your inner hands should appear as gray, white, shadow, transparent hands before your inner eye. So that's happened to me before, where I've moved my physical hand and have closed my eyes and seen it in light, as if it was light. So that just brought me to that when I was reading it. I was like, oh wow, I think I've done it, but I never did it. I didn't do it intentionally.
Oh, wow,
now,
that's dope. But I have to go now.
That's all right.
So okay, so I'll go now. Finish watching it when you wrap up.
All right, no problem.
All right. Okay.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
Okay, bye. Now you can begin to experiment, but don't run ahead of these exercises. Close your eyes and see your inner hands. Work the outer physical hands in the folding finger exercise and watch the inner hands do the same action. After a time, work the outer inner together and then work the inner alone. However, don't get in the habit of doing the inner alone for a long time to come. Your development requires that the two should work together for a long time. So take your time with this. Don't get ahead of yourself. Everything is about feeling and knowing and being in the present moment. I would suggest that you take at least 6 months before you go on to the next following work. So he wants you to do this 25 times a day, 6 months. If you don't have a light body by then, man, you would, most definitely, if you're really doing it, yes, and there's no doubt about it. You'll have a grand light body by then. If you should start the next work prematurely and it doesn't work out, then you would be disappointed and tend to stop your work. This work is very tough and hard, but tremendously rewarding, and you should not treat it like ordinary work. At the end of the suggested period of time, you should be able to see another body before you when you close your physical eyes and open your inner eyes. You should be able to see starting with your physical hands first and complete body before you. This body should move the same as your physical body moves and with the same motion. This body should be able to perform simple motions at your mental orders, okay? As you think so it should move, right? You have now done 1, 2, and 3 of the exercises outlined at the start of this work. Now comes the work to definitely train the body of light to perform more complex tasks. You will do this in the following way. First, perform the exercise of the Kabbalistic cross with the physical body. So that's a form of protection. When the physical actions are completed, then bring the chair into a center of room in which you are working and seat yourself in this chair facing east. After a little time, visualize this body of light that you have created standing out in front of you facing east. After a little time, visualize the body that you have created standing facing east. Remain seated quietly and make the body of light go through the ritual of the Kabbalistic cross while you watch it mentally. Okay, that's some deep stuff. Do this very carefully and have the body perform the ritual in all its details. You can leave out the 4 wind parts here for the time being. Again, there should be no hurry about this work. You should take all the time you need in order to fully develop the work of this body of light. The more time you spend on the preparations, the better your later control will be. When you are through working the ritual, withdraw the body of light back into yourself and keep it there. Do not allow yourself at this early stage to idly use it for anything else than the working of the ritual. Practice this work and practice the control of the body. The control of the body after you are through with the ritual. Your next step work consists of transferring your consciousness to the body of light that you have created, or you can develop and use the body of light as a familiar first, if you so desire. All righty. So I go into what is a familiar, part 2. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that was here today. Come back. What is the schedule? Next Friday. This Friday. This Friday, I will see you guys. Thank you so much for spending your time. It's much appreciated.